Tonight on Boatshow.tv, we look at a radical 40-knot fishing boat from White Pointer. In our ongoing Club Marine how-to series tonight, the 3-point turn. Big Red is one of New Zealand's ultimate classic yachts, and it's still sailing today. This week, we're up the river again, this time the Te Atatu Boating Club. And as always, much, much more.
John Ecclestone for Boating New Zealand magazine. We're aboard the White Pointer 1050, a triple Honda 250 horsepower rig. I'm driving the boat. Responds nicely to the helm. There are 3 big engines on the back of this boat, so there's a bit of turning, but it's all hydraulic steering. It's pretty easy to do. We've got trim controls. The throttles are synchronized. It's Honda's fly-by-wire throttle and shift system. Very easy to use. Once it's synchronized, you just need to use one lever. The boat feels comfortable. It's throwing the spray out quite nicely to the sides. It seems as though it's a fairly dry runner. Well, the owner of this boat obviously enjoys fishing, and he does. He's a very keen fisherman. But like a lot of people, he doesn't have a huge amount of time, so he wanted a boat that was fast, that he could get out to the places he likes to fish, places like Great Barrier Island, the Mercury Islands, out to Kuvia, places like that. He wants to be able to go there from Auckland and get there quickly. So he's had this boat built specifically for that, and when he gets there, he wants to be able to fish for everything from marlin through to snapper or terraki. White Pointer builds a beautiful boat, and this is a really good example. This cockpit is so nicely detailed right down to the flexi-teak floor. It's very practically laid out for fishing. In fact, it's a very fishing-oriented cockpit. We've got no fewer than 4 rod holders per side. We've got a really workable bait table. He's actually raised the surface up high enough that you can fillet fish without a problem. Storage underneath. Our lockers contain the start batteries, 3 of them, 1 for each engine, plus the isolation switches. On either side we've got live bait tanks. Pumps are nicely hidden away in the sides of the boat here. We've also got a pair of tuna tubes, 1 each side, so you're well equipped for any sort of live bait fishing with this boat. No rocket launcher across the back, but we have got lots of rod storage down the sides, and of course you've also got game poles. Plenty of comfortable seating here at the back of the cockpit. This huge seat is also a massive freezer, so you could fit a whole lot of fish in there, or a whole lot of food if you were going away for a week or so. There's any amount of refrigeration in this boat. Really well set up. Nice touch. You've got cavity windows here. They're electric. They come up and down, and obviously you've got a bifold door to close off the saloon completely. It's very quiet in there with the doors closed. Inside the boat, there's seating for easily 6 or 8 passengers. You know, some of them on the bench seat on the side, others around the saloon. The table's raised up on a bit of a pedestal, so you've got good sight lines out the windows. This is a great thing. You can tell that this is a builder who understands boats and knows that you need to have something to hang on to when the going gets rough, so he's got handholds all the way across.
Up next, more from our friends at Club Marine, how to do a 3-point turn.
When it comes to driving a boat, manoeuvring it in tight spots, it can be very daunting. But I'm going to show you a few little tricks to make it really easy. And even in a tight spot like this, we can turn a boat this size around on its own shape. In the scenario like this, if you need to turn the boat around, say it's rough offshore or you're not comfortable going in reverse, you can actually turn it around in a tight spot doing a 3-point turn. So the first thing you must understand, and this is, be aware of your surroundings. So you've got tide, wind, other boats, but more importantly, the depth. That's critical. So you need to be conscious that it's shallow in there, it's shallow up there. That's something that's very important. And I'm just turning the wheel slightly, out of gear, reversing, and turning the wheel at the same time. So you'll start bringing the boat round. Pull the boat out of gear while you've still got full lock on the wheel. Then turn the wheel the other way and then touch it in gear. And you'll find you'll actually start turning the boat. Pull it out of gear into neutral. All you do is just in gear, out of gear. You don't have to rev it at any stage. Out of gear, you're still turning. But what I'm doing is I'm spinning the wheel the other way and I'm turning the boat. Out of gear. So I'm just conscious there's a wharf there on the corner. I want to go forward a touch. So now you can see I've actually turned the boat, which I've got 6.5 metres of boat, basically around in its own length, and I'm now facing the other way. Even a boat like this at 6.5 metres, you can turn it around a tight little spot like that on top of itself. Just in gear, spin the wheel hard, out of gear. Turn it, just in and out of gear, and you'll find that you'll keep turning it. You don't need a 3-point turn, you could do it in a 5-6-point turn. Forward turn, and you'll just edge the boat around. The key is when you do it, is do it slowly, in and out of gear. Use the throttle and the steering in sequence. So it's in and out of gear, turn the throttle, touch it, it'll turn the boat naturally. Now we get nervous doing things like this, particularly at boat ramps, so people are watching. But the only way you get better is by practicing. And probably just one other little point, while you're practicing, if you are in those tight confines, get someone down there to support you. So if you do go too close to a wharf, too close to the edge, they can help fend you off, make the whole job a little bit easier, and that way you'll have better boating.
Ford made a great car. Mag and Turbo made it my car.
Tristram Marine, home of New Zealand's largest boat showroom and manufacturing plant. Tristram Boats, powered by Yamaha. Designed and crafted in New Zealand for all your offshore adventures. Visit tristramboats.com.
For 30 years, Boating New Zealand has delivered the best local coverage of launches, trailer boats and yachts with local boats and local conditions. Boating New Zealand from shops, supermarkets, service stations and subscription. Subscribe for the super low price of $87 and get 12 copies of New Zealand's #1 boating magazine, plus get free access to the online version of the mag. Download the Boating Magazine app now from iTunes or Google Play, free on tablet, computer and phone. Subscribe now for this very special offer. Go to our website or ring 0508 692 628 to subscribe now.
Ford made a great car. Mag and Turbo made it my car.
Don't forget, the VHF radio frequencies have changed in your area.
Hi, it's Ray here from Coastguard. There's an important message to remember about the marine VHF channels that are changing on or around the 1st of October. For information on those channels that are changing, go to retune.co.nz. It's important to remember that you don't have to buy a new marine radio, and channel 16, the Maritime Distress Calling channel, does not change. As I said before, you don't need to buy a new radio, but you do need to go to retune.co.nz to find out the channel changes in your local boating area.
Up next, part 2 of the 40 plus knots White Pointer 10.5.
This vessel is equipped with a Z-Zone system. That's a switching system that controls everything in the boat, all of the pumps, all of the lights. You can program it for all kinds of modes, quiet ship, dark ship, anything like that. On this side we've got two more of these huge GPS map 7416 Garmin displays, they're 16-inch displays, as well as we've got radar, we've got AIS system on this boat as well. Obviously we've got a powerful fish finder, but with the 3 screens you've got any sort of number of things that you can show on there. It's very, very versatile and easy to see, obviously. Along the bottom we have a full range of Garmin gauges. That's all of the Honda engine gauges are also made by Garmin. And of course we've got not just one, but 2, 3 in fact, VHF radios on this boat. So the seats on this boat are pretty impressive as well. They're extremely comfortable. They're sprung, so they're on a pedestal and they support you very, very nicely and give you a little bit of give when you're in a rough sea. Reasonable amount of space down below here. You've got a good comfortable V-berth here that you could certainly sleep to. You could even squeeze through there if you really felt like it. A couple of pipe berths. Again, they're comfortable enough and actually quite good in the seaway. They give you a bit of support. Lots of lights, LED lights throughout, so it's quite well lit, and they also change over to red for use at night. And a nice touch is this rather special rod rack that's been fitted to the ceiling here. You could house, half a dozen rods out of the way here. White Pointer always build a beautiful boat, but this one is really a bit of a step up. It is so well finished and so well spec. There is so much gear on this boat that it is really quite something, and it is exactly what the owner was after. A fast boat to get him where he wants to go in a hurry. The door's closed, super quiet in here. You could stay here, fish this boat or go away on this boat any time of the year, summer or winter. There's even a diesel heater to keep you warm. Got demisters on the windscreens. There's all kinds of little details that you just keep finding as you spend time with the boat. This is a pretty impressive vessel.
The Auckland On-Water Boat Show has been and gone for another year. Once again, it was a huge success. Big Red is still the only boat to win every single leg of the Round the World race. Today, she's thrilling the kids of New Zealand.
Probably the world's most successful offshore racing yacht. Obviously the clean sweep in the 8990 Whitbread, now Volvo, and then subsequently sold to an Italian gentleman who raced it really hard, won the transatlantic race 3 times, the Girolia middle sea race countless, 5 times. So for 10 years, a really successful racing yacht. the thinking behind it is quite cutthroat, ruthless. Weight is criminal in the wrong place. So even though she's 35 tonnes, it feels like a light boat to steer. With the catch rig, it's very versatile. You can balance the boat in most conditions. Yeah, if you push it hard, it rewards you with an exhilarating ride. It is an 84-foot surfboard. Yeah. We were trying to make the boat accessible to all New Zealanders by this and line. The bulk of our work is youth development, so tying in with school groups or sports groups, community groups, and the boat goes out at a very low rate, far less than it costs to actually take it to sea. But it's about making the boats available, usable. We have high decile schools and very low decile schools and middle of the road schools. Independence, self-reliance, a very, very clear understanding of being part of a team. How a little input from a team member or a lack of it can have a dramatic effect on performance and on comfort levels. This is our environment. You can use the analogy that this is our resource, this is the world, and it comes first. So we teach them that one of the few places in modern society that we're not in a democracy. The boat comes first. If the boat is safe, we're all safe. So it is about a little bit of being selfless, putting the goal and the team ahead of oneself to achieve a greater result than one can do by oneself.
Ford made a great car. Mag and Turbo made it my car.
For 30 years, Boating New Zealand has delivered the best local coverage of launches, trailer boats and yachts with local boats and local conditions. Boating New Zealand from shops, supermarkets, service stations and subscription. Subscribe for the super low price of $87 and get 12 copies of New Zealand's #1 boating magazine, plus get free access to the online version of the mag. Download the Boating Magazine app now from iTunes or Google Play, free on tablet, computer and phone. Subscribe now for this very special offer. Go to our website or ring 0508 692 628 to subscribe now.
Tristram Marine, home of New Zealand's largest boat showroom and manufacturing plant. Tristram Boats, powered by Yamaha. Designed and crafted in New Zealand for all your offshore adventures. Visit tristramboats.com.
Ford made a great car. Mag and Turbo made it my car.
Welcome back to part 2 of Big Red.
Daily routine, so we start early, very similar to the tall ships. We go for a swim in the morning, just for hygiene. We'll have breakfast, we'll do some duties, clean below deck and above deck, and then have a briefing, look at the weather forecast and come up with where we're headed to. We try and do your average of 6 to 8 hours sailing in a day, and everybody's involved with the sailing of the boat. We're in watch groups and the boat is run like a racing yacht in your watch. You'll rotate through 5 positions while you're on watch: helmsman, navigator, comms, bowman, crew boss and engineer are the positions that we're rotating through. So yeah, over a 5-day, 4-night trip, by the end of the trip, the students are hopefully starting to make the decisions themselves. Everybody's involved with the cooking. Obviously it's a boat, meal times are what things revolve around. So we eat well, definitely got to have good food, good provisions. Try and do a barbecue when we can. Night sailing is a big part. Obviously with a slightly older group, we'll sail 24 hours and run the boat hard and properly like we do when we're racing her. We're always looking for volunteers. Obviously the boats are very expensive to maintain, so the more that we can do in-house, the more money that we can put into taking the boat sailing and getting young people and all New Zealanders out there. So yeah, we do working bees regularly, and if you're volunteering on that basis, you get to come sailing whenever we can. We do 3 or 4 big coastal races a year, Coastal Classic, and positions are up for grabs there. The Easter race down to Tauranga. We'll do the Millennium Cup or Bay of Islands Race Week. We never lean on her hard in the harbour, but once we've got a bit of open water, yeah, we try to make it as authentic as possible. If you look at the names on the bunks downstairs, you realise how many Kiwi sailors cut their teeth, made their name on Ceramco, Lion and then Steinlager. That era, that sort of 80s through to early 90s, cemented the upper echelon of New Zealand sailors today. The lessons learnt through those 4 boats, Ceramco, Lion, Steinlager 2 and Fisher and Paykel. Those 4 boats are what created the culture that won us the Cup in '95. Probably 80% of them come out with a new respect for themselves, a new respect for the group, the team, the crew around them, and hopefully my personal want is for them to go away with a bit of a respect for Sir Peter's legacy and that ability to achieve your dreams with enough focus and determination.
With the change to the radio frequencies, having the right communications on your boat is vital.
I'm Patrick Holmes, CEO of Coastguard New Zealand. We're a charity and our volunteers, over 2,200 of them, put their lives on the line 24/7 to bring people home safely to their families. Did you know that Coastguard receives over 260,000 radio calls a year from boaties, calling in everything from trip reports to emergencies? If you can't contact Coastguard in an emergency, we can't find you. A marine VHF radio helps to keep you safe, so make sure it's working and you know how to use it properly. If you don't, consider doing a Coastguard Marine VHF radio operator course. Always take 2 waterproof forms of communication so we can help you if you get into difficulty. The main form is a marine VHF radio, but a cell phone in a waterproof bag is also an okay backup. Other key communication devices to have on your boat are a locator beacon, flares, a torch, and even a whistle. Make sure you always log a trip report. Call us on your local channel or star 500 from your mobile. Head to coastguard.co.nz to find your local channel. Or you can call Marine Radio on VHF Channel 16 anywhere in the country.
It's been up the river for 59 years, the Te Atatu Boating Club.
Started back in 1957. A group of local people wanted to get together to have a fraternity type boat club for people to enjoy and work on their boats, and yeah, a bit of a community thing back then. We have a lot of members here now, even people that are not boat owners, that still come here and enjoy the facilities because of the great facilities we got, but we still have a huge and wide variety of boat owners. The advantage here is we're quite sheltered with our moorings, etc., inside the bridges here, and we're close to go anywhere inside the Auckland harbour. We have a lot of community functions for the club. We do boating functions, we have picnic days, we do quite a few events here where people can come and join the club and enjoy themselves. It's a family orientated club and they really enjoy it. We have a wide variety. We have launches, we have yachts, we have powerboats, we have all sorts. People only with dinghies, they're all welcome. We do fishing competitions during the year, day fishing, women's fishing, overnight fishing, kids fishing off the wharf, and we get them all involved in it. We have members here who are very rich and up there, and they still blend in and get on with the guys that aren't, and they also vice versa get on with them. People tend to work on their own boats, and there's also a lot of people here around to help them work on their boats if they don't have the knowledge, and people are always more than willing and helpful to give them a hand and put them in the right direction. The yard is probably nowadays a bit small for what we need, but we try and have a turnaround with vessels so everyone in the club gets their chance to use the yard and facilities here. We have an open day once a year. We get MPI involved, Coast Guard involved, Wakarama, and we promote it through the local papers, through Facebook, and get a lot of people down here for that day. That's the one thing people say. They come down here and they go, oh, well, we didn't know you're here. What a beautiful outlook, what a beautiful spot. And especially in the summer times, we've got the barbecue areas, the kids' playground areas. We've got all the facilities they need to come and enjoy the club.
Coming next week on Boatshow.tv, we test the Grand Soleil 43, an impressive yacht. A decent life jacket never ruined a day on the water. Patrick from Coast Guard takes us through a few tips. For 75 years, the Richmond Yacht Club has been one of the fixtures of West Haven. With summer coming, the guys at Club Marine give us some much needed tips on towing your boat. And much, much more when Boatshow.tv returns next week.
Ford made a great car. Mag and Turbo made it my car.
Tristram Marine, home of New Zealand's largest boat showroom and manufacturing plant. Tristram Boats, powered by Yamaha. Designed and crafted in New Zealand for all your offshore adventures. Visit tristramboats.com.
For 30 years, Boating New Zealand has delivered the best local coverage of launches, trailer boats and yachts with local boats and local conditions. Boating New Zealand from shops, supermarkets, service stations and subscription. Subscribe for the super low price of $87 and get 12 copies of New Zealand's #1 boating magazine, plus get free access to the online version of the mag. Download the Boating Magazine app now from iTunes or Google Play, free on tablet, computer and phone. Subscribe now for this very special offer. Go to our website or ring 0508 692 628 to subscribe now.
Ford made a great car. Mag and Turbo made it my car.